Welcome to this explainer. Today we're jumping right in and unpacking exactly what it takes to protect your Farmers Branch home from some of the most brutal weather in the entire country. We are going to look at the actual science, the local building standards, and the critical materials you need to keep your property safe and secure.
Think about this for a second. Is your roof quietly failing right now? Seriously, in North Texas, your roof isn't just a structural top, it's active armor that is constantly being tested by nature. And we usually don't even think about it until water is suddenly dripping right onto the living room floor. But the deterioration, that starts long before that first drop.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today. We'll cover the North Texas weather threat, spotting hidden roof damage, repair versus full replacement, selecting the best materials, and finally, the professional roofing process. Let's get into it.
Section 1. The North Texas Weather Threat. Nature's Relentless Assault.
Your home literally faces a perfect storm of threats year-round here. We're talking unpredictable spring hailstorms that just batter surfaces completely out of nowhere, and then summer heat well over 100 degrees causing massive thermal expansion and contraction. Add in 70-mile-per-hour wind events that aggressively test every single roofing fastener, and sudden winter freezes that mess with the shifting clay soil beneath your foundation. All of this rapidly accelerates the wear and tear, especially if you have an older 1970s or 1980s roof in neighborhoods like Timberbrook or over near Branch Hollow Park.
So what's actually happening underneath all that wild weather? Well, if your attic ventilation is inadequate, that trapped summer heat literally bakes your shingles from the inside out, reaching a staggering 150 degrees. 150 degrees! That heat basically cooks the asphalt, causing it to curl and crack, effectively cutting your roof's design lifespan right in half.
Moving on to Section 2, Spotting Hidden Roof Damage, the Invisible Enemy. All right, let's talk about impact fractures first. This is that sneaky, hidden damage from hail that cracks the shingles and strips off those protective UV-resistant granules. And most homeowners miss these tiny fractures entirely until water stains start showing up on their ceilings. But the reality is, they expose the super vulnerable asphalt underneath to immediate and severe UV deterioration. Honestly, by the time you actually see a leak inside, the system has already been failing for months.
And then there's wind uplift. Picture this. Those high North Texas winds create this intense upward pressure that actually tears improperly fastened shingles right off the roof decking, breaking the seal strips and exposing the underlayment underneath. The huge danger here is that once the wind lifts even a single shingle that wasn't installed to strict local specs, the areas right next to it become highly vulnerable to cascading failure. It literally acts like a domino effect across your entire roof.
Section 3. Repair versus full replacement, making the crucial choice.
When that armor is finally breached, you've got a major decision to make. Do you just stop the active threat right now or invest in a long-term code-compliant shield? Emergency repair is your 24/7 rapid response. We're talking tarping, moisture barriers, and temporary patching just to stop an active leak immediately. On the flip side, full replacement is a complete tear-off. You're evaluating and repairing the decking, upgrading the ventilation, laying down synthetic underlayment, and putting on brand new shingles, which usually takes about 1 to 3 days to knock out.
But hey, here is a wild fact that really changes the math for a lot of property owners. Insurance companies are increasingly refusing to cover homes with roofs older than 15 years. Yeah, 15 years. That creates a massive financial urgency that goes way beyond just preventing a leak. It's absolutely vital to know that temporary fixes on old, failed systems just postpone the inevitable. Relying on spot repairs when the whole system is degraded could actually cost you your insurance coverage entirely.
All right, Section 4. Selecting the best materials, building your defense.
Let's lay out your defensive options here. For most residential homes, asphalt architectural shingles are going to give you a solid 15 to 25 years of life, offering much better wind resistance and Class 4 impact options for that hail we talked about. Now, if you really want to upgrade, metal roofing can last 40 to 70 years, and it absolutely excels in the Texas heat by reflecting sunlight and seriously lowering your cooling bills. Finally, for commercial properties or flat roofs, TPO or EPDM membranes provide a solid 20 to 30 years of protection. So while asphalt is super popular and affordable, upgrading to metal can drastically extend your roof's life and save you money every month on energy.
Now, picking the material is just step 1. You need the exact right specifications to back it up. To survive our weather, you need a 110-mile-per-hour wind rating. You need exactly 1 square foot of ventilation for every 150 square feet of attic space to stop that 150-degree baking effect.
You also definitely want synthetic underlayment for superior UV and tear resistance, plus ice and water barriers in those vulnerable valleys and around penetrations. Remember, the International Residential Code just sets the baseline, but to truly survive here, you need these specific enhanced protections perfectly balanced.
Let's move to Section 5, the professional roofing process, demystifying the installation.
So what does this actually look like when the crew shows up? Well, following these 3 precise steps turns all that construction chaos into a totally predictable, managed upgrade for your home. Step 1 is inspection and planning, where pros carefully document the damage for your insurance, evaluate the decking, and review detailed estimates with you. Step 2 is the actual professional installation, tearing off the old junk, laying down that high-grade synthetic underlayment, and applying shingles exactly to spec. And Step 3 is cleanup and final inspection. This means magnetic sweepers catching stray nails, handling all your warranty paperwork, and making sure municipal permitting is completely closed out.
And you know, speaking of permits, this is huge. Skipping mandatory city permits risks massive fines, failed home inspections when you eventually try to sell the house, and catastrophic insurance claims denials. This is a detail you literally cannot ignore. Working with local professionals who actually pull the proper permits protects your legal standing and your financial investment. If someone offers to do the job cheaper by skipping the paperwork, run. They are putting your biggest asset at massive risk.
Honestly, if there's one thing you take away from this explainer, let it be this. Poor installation ruins even premium materials. You could buy the absolute best, most expensive Class 4 impact-resistant shingle on the market, and it is completely useless if the contractor cuts corners on the underlayment, messes up the ventilation math, or just rushes the fasteners. Execution is just as critical as the materials you buy. So, I'm going to leave you with a tough question to ponder. Is your home's armor ready for the next North Texas storm, or are you just waiting for a leak to tell you it's too late? I highly encourage you to get out there and inspect your property, or better yet, have a local professional evaluate it before the next severe storm season hits. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive into protecting your home.